I secretly paid for the whole birthday table. Then my girlfriend told me to pay and leave. She leaned across the table and said, "If you don't like my friend's jokes, you can just pay and leave." I said, "Deal," and felt the receipt in my jacket like a secret I suddenly hated. Let me back up. I'm 28, I work in software, and I've been dating Emily for 2 years. She's smart, funny, and she's a nurse who cares. Her friends act like they own every room. We were at Rossetti's, an Italian spot downtown, doing an early birthday dinner because Emily's birthday was the next day. 3 days earlier, I'd quietly covered the whole table with the manager. 12 people. Apps, mains, drinks, dessert, all of it. I wanted to reveal it during dessert, make a toast, and make Emily feel special. I even practiced a speech in my car about how her people mattered to me, too. I didn't realize I was paying to get laughed at. As soon as we sat down, Marissa started, phone in her hand like she was recording. "So, Jasper," she said, "still doing your little computer job?" Jocelyn laughed. "Must be nice, just sitting at a screen all day." Brittany smirked and said, "Emily, remember that doctor you met at that wedding? Now he seemed impressive." I tried to smile. "It's not just—" Brittany cut me off. "Oh, we know. It's complicated, right?" Emily giggled like this was cute. The server came for drink orders, and they went big right away. "Most expensive red," Marissa said. Jocelyn ordered a cocktail that cost more than my lunch. Brittany added lobster, just because. Emily squeezed my knee under the table like she was excited, and I thought, okay, this will be a good night. Then Marissa stared at Emily's hands and said, "So, where's the ring, Jasper?" Before I could answer, Jocelyn said, "He's probably saving up with that little screen job." I tried to steer the talk back to Emily, asking about her week, her plans, anything. Every time, they pulled it back to me. "A nurse dating a guy who clicks buttons," Jocelyn said, loud enough for nearby tables. She could do better. Marissa leaned toward Emily and said, "Girl, you could have a man in scrubs who drives a real car." Then she looked at me. "What do you drive again?" I said, "A Honda." Brittany laughed. "A 2018 Honda," she said. "That's so safe." Emily covered her mouth, laughing, and I waited for her to say, "Stop." She didn't. The food hit the table, and the comments got sharper. Marissa tapped her glass. "To Emily turning 26 and finally upgrading her life," Jocelyn added, "including her boyfriend," and they all laughed again. I kept my voice even. "Can we not do this tonight?" Brittany tilted her head. "Why? Because it's true?" They started ordering like it was a dare. Dry-aged steak, premium wine, extra sides, 2 desserts for the table, then another bottle. Marissa's mom and stepdad were there too, following along and joking that birthdays are for going all out. Emily's smile never left her face. When I tried to talk to her, Marissa would jump in with a new jab. Brittany leaned toward Emily and said, "Honestly, you should be dating someone successful, like a lawyer or a doctor, not this." She flicked her hand at me like I was nothing. The table laughed. Emily laughed the hardest, eyes watering. My stomach dropped. I leaned toward Emily and said quietly, "Are you okay with this?" She gave me a small shrug like, "What do you want me to do?" That shrug hurt more than the jokes. Jocelyn kept going. "If you break up with him, we can set you up tomorrow." Marissa said, "Yeah, you deserve a real man." Brittany said, "He's holding you back." Emily glanced at me like she was checking if I'd stay calm, like my job tonight was to not ruin her fun. Marissa turned to me and said, "So what's it gonna be? You gonna cry, or are you gonna take a joke?" I reached into my jacket and gripped the envelope. My fingers were shaking. Emily watched me, and then she said it, clear and cold. "If you don't like my friend's jokes, you can just pay and leave." I nodded. I slid the receipt across to her and said, "You're right, I should pay and leave." Emily opened it, still smiling at first. Then her eyes moved over the numbers, and her face went blank. "Jasper, what is this?" she whispered. I stood up, set my napkin on my plate, and said, "It was my surprise for your birthday. I covered everyone because you said they're important to you." The table went dead quiet. Marissa snatched the paper. "Wait, he already paid?" Jocelyn leaned in, eyes wide. Brittany stopped smiling like someone turned off a light. Emily shoved her chair back and said, "No, please, don't do this." I looked at her and said, "I'm not doing anything. I already did it." Then I looked at the group and said, "Enjoy your meal. It's on me." Literally. I turned and walked out. Behind me, nobody laughed. The only sound was chair legs scraping.